Spending months daring a government to arrest you only works while nobody actually takes you up on it. The Tate brothers just found out what happens when somebody does.
To address what you said about Trump, I agree with you. My message to the UK government is I'm not afraid of you. And I'm not afraid of the UK lawyers. I'm not afraid of the UK judge. I'm not afraid of any of it because I've done nothing wrong.
Sort of how does, I guess, the UK view President Trump? Like, what's the word on the street over there? And what are your thoughts about the administration so far?
And President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Andrew Tate has been publicly inviting UK authorities to come and get him for a long stretch now, and last week they finally obliged. Extradition is moving forward. And guys, he wasn't just posting vague challenges either. He was directly insulting the man seated opposite Donald Trump in that interview, Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister.
It used to be a country. Now it's charged by Keir Starmer, some fucking wanker who keeps issuing Interpol warrants for me. We need to get Andrew Tate, Interpol. Bro, just fucking chill out. I'm in Beverly Hills. Come get me. I'm not hard to find. I post my location on Twitter and I'm 6'3", walking around Beverly Hills with a crowd of adoring fans. Come get me.
Part of why he was that confident online, I genuinely think, is that he believed Trump had his back. He's followed by the vice president on social media and has connections to the family. That belief has now been comprehensively tested.
Was there any help from Trump's camp to help you get here? Was there any influence there?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you don't know. Okay.
I mean, I would like to think.
Only a short while before the arrest, they were on camera talking about how innocent men don't run and about how proud they were to be American. Now they're facing a return trip to Britain.
But I'm very proud to be an American, and I'm very happy to be here in Washington, D.C. Hasn't it improved so much?
Yes, it has. Oh, since President Trump cleaned up the place. Has it improved? That's the question. Since you've been here last.
Well, I was last here about 7, maybe 8 years ago.
They had genuinely built solid foundations over there. The house arrest period, the eventual permission to travel to America, reporting ties that back to Trump administration connections. A Times investigation found that Romanian prosecutors were instructed to compromise with the Tates despite their own reservations, and that the travel restrictions were lifted in a move the Romanian Prime Minister believed would please the Trump administration. So influence existed, whatever Trump himself says publicly.
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I do. Look, obviously this involves, there's an English element here, so obviously it's important that justice is done, and human trafficking is obviously, to my mind, a security risk, and so we'll catch up with the story in due course.
And sitting directly across from Trump in that footage is the UK Prime Minister, fully aware of this case and the crackdown behind it. What's happened here is essentially a chess move. Andrew Tate now faces significantly more serious charges, including ones involving a child. Realistically, Trump cannot step in and block this extradition, especially given his own Epstein associations.
Perspective. I'd like to be optimistic and believe that Donald Trump saw this garbage and maybe asked some questions. I like that idea, but I don't know. I had no confirmation. I have no idea. I don't know why. However, as a professional,
the mistake Tate made is straightforward, guys. He got comfortable in America and spent months aggressively taunting the UK to come for him.
I'm right here in Miami. Come get me, arrest me, perp walk me, put me on the news, tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Come get me, raid my house, take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb? Come get me, arrest me.
Breaking, Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Miami.
You can hear it in this Tristan interview too. They genuinely believed America was safe ground and that nothing was arriving anytime soon.
And I'm back this time, and I'm like, wow, how has he done so much with this city in such a short period of time?
Crazy.
And the National Guard and the Capitol Police are very happy to see me and my brother. We've always backed the Blues, so we're shaking a lot of hands and taking a lot of pictures with those guys, and they're doing a fantastic job.
I know it does look really good here. And the Trump administration in general, sort of how does, I guess, the UK view President Trump? Like, what's the word on the street over there? And what are your thoughts about the administration so far?
I think a lot of people in the world, there are two types of people in the world. There are the people who believe in what the mainstream media says, and there are people who don't believe in what the mainstream media says. And the mainstream media, I mean the big media channels owned by like the George Soroses of the world. And I think the people who really believe in this mainstream media, the fake news as President Trump calls it, they have a bad opinion of the president and what he's doing here in the United States. But everybody with their brain switched on seems to love him. In Romania, everybody talks very highly of our vice president, J.D. Vance. They speak very highly of him because he was the only American to highlight a lot of problems that are actually affecting their country. And with politics, let's not pretend that there's ever such thing as a perfect politician. But what you have to do is you have to look at the overall job that your politician is doing. You have to understand that you are not in their position. You have to understand that they know more than you do about the situations you want to comment on, and you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I personally am very happy with what the administration has done and accomplished so far, and I just think things would have been a hell of a lot worse had the other team won. So I'm very happy, and I will always back President Donald Trump. I have since 2015.
Andrew has praised Trump relentlessly across interviews. That political alliance genuinely helped get them into the country. It isn't going to be enough this time, and here's the reason why.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
This is the attorney for President Trump, somebody who has been a fighter for the America First Party. Her name is Alina Habba, and she joins us live right now.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you.
Formal charges against Andrew Tate include rape, human trafficking of minors, sexual intercourse with a minor.
Because despite all that praise from both brothers, there was one occasion where they went against him on the exact subject Trump hates most.
Sir, if there's nothing incriminating in the file, why not acting as
There's an interview where Andrew argues that everyone connected to Epstein should be fully investigated, and he means everyone. Elon Musk, Trump, all of them. He backed Trump in that same conversation, but still landed on universal investigation while Trump has spent his whole term pushing away any discussion of his own Epstein connections.
And myself, I'm in a lot of trouble with many charges from the British government for my speech, saying the things I say are completely unacceptable. But primarily, my message is challenging the blanket authority and the blanket narratives which are pushed by our institutions. And now that we see our institutions are completely corrupted by billionaire pedophiles, now we see our institutions have been completely overrun and they're operating in secret rooms and subverting the rule of law. I think that makes it even more important that people like myself continue to challenge authority and demand answers and demand transparency and not believe official narratives. This is just the tip of the iceberg. What we know is going to be a fraction of what actually took place. And if I find it absolutely disgusting, and I don't want to make this about me, that they've managed to do so much damage to my brother and I with no evidence, while sitting on such a huge pile of evidence for some of the most important people on the planet. To address what you said about Trump, I agree with you. But I think Trump would have been under huge pressure from some of the most important people in administrations all around the world to release nothing at all. And the fact that he continued to try and be transparent and allow people at home to understand how this world really works, I have to give him credit for, because a lot of people would have been in Trump's ear saying, don't release anything. And yes, he's a maverick, as is Elon. And if our democracies are going to survive in the coming decade with all of the problems that exist in our societies, transparency is the most important thing we can push for.
There's also evidence he kept those Trump-world relationships warm right up to the end. They follow each other online, and the hearing hasn't happened yet, so intervention technically remains possible. But I think the child-related allegations push this past the point of no return. Trump has zero appetite for being connected to that subject again after the Epstein fallout. Is protecting one man genuinely worth that?
Does anybody know where Andrew and Tristan Tate spent the days before their arrest in Miami? Because if you don't, allow me to fill you in, because you literally can't make this shit up. This is Paolo Zampoli, Donald Trump's U.S. Special Envoy for Global Partnerships, right? Also a longtime friend of Donald Trump and Melania. Paolo Zampoli is the former modeling executive who said that he actually brought Melania to the United States and, of course, introduced her to Donald Trump. There's a lot more about this man that'll really have you thinking, but I can't help but wonder why the Tate brothers, just days before their arrest, were partying in Washington, D.C. as guests of Paolo Zampoli, especially considering the new allegations against them.
Here's the detail that should worry Tate most, though. Trump cannot pardon either brother for these charges because Presidential Pardon Authority covers federal crimes committed inside the United States and nothing else. They were detained on a formal extradition request from Britain, where the Crown Prosecution Service has brought 59 charges. Since those alleged offenses occurred outside American jurisdiction, the president holds no judicial power whatsoever to alter or dismiss proceedings overseas.
If you didn't know, UK's Crown Prosecution Service, like it says here, said that it is bringing additional charges of rape against Andrew and Tristan under ongoing cases against the brothers in that nation. The agency said that the brothers are awaiting extradition to the UK. And if you didn't know, Andrew Tate faces 7 additional counts of rape, 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 counts of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and 19 additional charges relating to illegal you-know-what. Tristan Tate faces 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. New charges relate to 4 additional alleged victims. Previous charges were connected to 3 alleged victims. The case against Tristan previously included 3 counts of rape, 6 counts of actual bodily harm, and 2 counts of human trafficking. Which makes me wonder, if these motherfuckers can be arrested, then why can't the rest of the individuals on that list and in those files be arrested as well? Something about this shit just is not adding up. Not that I don't see this as an obvious celebration.
So what actually happens next is complicated, because both brothers hold American and British citizenship, and they're scheduled to appear in Miami federal court for formal extradition proceedings. A pardon is legally impossible, but final execution of the extradition does technically require sign-off from the US Secretary of State, who sits within the executive branch. So any political intervention available here is limited strictly to diplomatic maneuvering around physically transferring them to Britain. Trump has denied helping the brothers through his administration, though he was heavily accused of lobbying to ease their foreign travel restrictions. Tate's entire strategy appeared to be staying in that man's good books and assuming America would shield him indefinitely.
Let me clear up this news you're seeing on the timeline. The British state has accused me of a crime. They said 15 years ago I did something I wasn't supposed to do and I'm a criminal.
Britain is arriving more than prepared, and Tristan believes he'll be dragging the UK government into an American court at some point this year to hit back.
There is going to be a massive lawsuit at the end of this year. There is going to be a massive civil lawsuit at the end of this year in an American court where I, Tristan Tate, am no longer a defendant for doing something wrong. I'm the plaintiff. And some of the people who helped do this to me will be the defendants. I've been working on it for many, many long months now. I've been mentally preparing for it for many years. And I can't say too much about it. But I can tell all of you to keep your eyes and ears very wide open to any litigations I'm involved in, because there will come a time very soon when the stand is going to be packed full of people who helped do this to me. And I will be standing there as the plaintiff in total freedom.
Worth remembering as well, guys, that back in April 2026, a federal judge threw out the brothers' $50 million lawsuit against Meta over their 2022 ban. The court found Meta immune under Section 230 and not a government actor, meaning no First Amendment claim was possible. Essentially, a free platform gets to decide who uses it.
Not only that, but it turns out, now that this is all said and done, a bunch of whistleblowers are anonymously coming forward and putting the picture together of exactly what happened to me. And I'm going to say a name at the end of this sentence, just so my enemies know that I'm on the right track. You know, you can enact injustices upon a man as much as you like, but it's going to hurt your soul if you are a good person. And there are some good people out there, it seems. Because I've been sitting here for years in these emergency meetings I referenced earlier, screaming about how unjust it is and how it's definitely a conspiracy and I don't know exactly who's behind it, but there must be some the NGOs and the British government are working together to try and get me off the internet and to silence me and to put me in jail. It turns out, after all these years, now that the content of my character has become more clear to people, and people have opened their eyes as to what's actually happened to me and what I really did wrong, which it turns out legally, as of right now, is absolutely nothing, as I still have a clean criminal record and always will have. But, whistleblowers are coming forward. People from within the ranks of the enemy are coming forward and telling me who has done this to me and who's really behind it. And I would just like the Center for Countering Digital Hate to know, the CCDH to know, that I see all the trails that lead back to you, and a full investigation is going on to uncover exactly what it is that you guys did. So there's a slight name drop for you all. And then again, there will be legal cases, court cases, in which I am the defendant, once I zero in on absolutely everybody else who took part in this. But my legal problems aside, it's genuinely not that interesting anymore. Who cares? I'm in freedom. Just got back from New York. Just got back from Dubai. I was in Beverly Hills before that. Do I really give a shit?
Andrew has said he's exhausted by having this permanently over his head, waiting on an outcome, and told them to just charge him. So now both brothers are arrested in America with UK charges reaching 59 in total. Here's what he'd said beforehand, making clear he isn't frightened of Britain, their lawyers, or anything coming his way.
And I'm not afraid of the UK lawyers. I'm not afraid of the UK judge. I'm not afraid of any of it because I've done nothing wrong. And everybody knows I've done nothing wrong. And putting me in jail doesn't prove I've done anything wrong. And satisfying a few internet masturbating leftist haters doesn't prove I've done anything wrong. I know I've done nothing wrong. God knows I've done nothing wrong. So if I get free from here to avoid the Wizz Air flight, which would actually bother me, unlike jail, I will take my own private jet and I will fly directly into London. I'll walk into Scotland Yard and say, hello, motherfuckers, charge me or get fucked. Because I'm not living with this shit over my head for the rest of my life. And I'm not afraid of any of them. If you want to charge me, I'll see you in court. And if you want to put me in jail, that's fine. Because I know I've done nothing wrong, and every free-thinking person on the planet knows I've done nothing wrong. So I'm really not afraid of these people. So I would go straight to England to squash that. And when all of that's done, I'm going to move back to the greatest country on earth, USA, because the USA is finally back. After 4 long years, in fact, maybe a little bit longer, it felt like, of hell, where America was living under absolute tyranny.
What it looks like is 2 men who got far too comfortable in America off the back of that Trump association. He was even publicly demanding an apology from Ron DeSantis for pushing allegations before any conviction, arguing that as an American citizen who's never been convicted, he couldn't live there until those politicians apologized. He was applying pressure to American officials. That's comfort turning into overconfidence.
I don't care. I'm an American, and I don't owe him shit. And when DeSantis stands up and apologizes to me, when the AG apologizes to me, I'll consider it. And Byron Donalds is a punk too, because he sold out and went on the news and started talking shit, calling me a human trafficker. I've never been convicted. The point of America, in general, the point of democracy is innocent until proven guilty. If they get quizzed about me, if they stand up on the news and they say, what do you think of Andrew Tate? They have a very easy answer. We live in a democracy. It's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know the specifics of his case. What I know is he is not convicted. They don't have to sell out like punks. They don't have to start saying I'm not welcome here. If the senator or the governor tells me I'm not welcome here, you know what? Then fucking keep it. I'm not a beg. I'm not desperate. And I don't give a shit if Ron DeSantis likes how I live or not. To be honest, I don't care. I'm an American citizen. I came here. I've been convicted of no crimes. And for the same reason you won't live in Cali or Mamdami's New York, I can't live here until these clowns apologize to me.
Here's what happens from here, and it's worth preparing for. Now that the arrest has landed, people will flood timelines with decade-old clips claiming gotcha moments and admissions of guilt. If it were that simple, guys, he'd already be sitting in a Romanian prison. Those clips have circulated before and formed part of the last attempt. The British system needs an actual case built on evidence, not screenshots of old internet footage. That approach already failed in Romania, which is precisely what everyone keeps forgetting. So, the UK case is going to be genuinely interesting to watch, and I'll be covering every development as it lands. If you got something out of this, drop a like. It helps this channel more than most people realize. And if you're new around here, this is Creator Pulse, so subscribe and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Catch you in the next one.